Hello and welcome back to the Chattercade podcast, but minus Connor.
Hang on a minute, where's the... I'm pretty sure... Yeah, I'm not Connor.
It's like you've gone back in a time machine.
Oh, yeah.
To, what, 2021?
Except I've been kidnapped and held hostage in your hat room.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, we're bringing back the old formula, review, breakdown, shit like that, on a sort of monthly basis. And, yeah, we're going to be doing that from between every now and again.
Man could be asked.
Yeah, it's all like that. Every now and again, once a month, something along that line.
With the main host of Carl Grimes.
Carl! I just need an excuse to wear this hat. It's just been sat on my Mandalorian helmet for the ages. Mandalorian became cowboy. Anyway, you know, what we're talking about was our first movie back since King Kong vs. Godzilla, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought that was the last time we did.
Yeah, it's probably quite a good home invasion kind of film, you know? You're next. Really good.
I say, who doesn't love a good home invasion? Well, people in the home, obviously. They wouldn't like it. Maybe the cops, because they've got to deal with it afterwards, the aftermath.
Especially after doing this film.
The invaders, if the home people fight back. What's the point in this? Why do people invade homes? It's clearly not. They're clearly going to lose. And in this case, they fucking do. Well, yeah.
Because I forgot the main character's Australian.
Yeah.
You don't mess with
and
all this.
Australians have fought, sharks, crocodiles, spider, kangaroos, koala. They fought everything. So, a bit of home invasion is nothing to them.
It's every Friday. Like
exactly. It's a Friday night for them. It's a Friday night then the town, that is for them. Anyway, as always, with these sort of breakdowns, big spoiler at the start.
Oh, no shit.
Because, we like to talk in depth. And you can't really do that with spoiler-free.
That's true.
So if you want a spoiler-free talk, or as a spoiler-free short review...
Go fuck yourself.
Then... all you gotta do is ask in the comments. But,
that.
Yeah, that also works, yeah. That loses audiences, Hayden, if you say go fuck yourself.
Yeah, but it's funny.
It is funny, yes, it is funny, so go fuck yourself.
But
yeah, so obviously I thought... I gave you a few options. I gave you the option to finish a franchise... And just a bunch of other options that just weren't franchises, just random options, like stuff with people like Chris Hemsworth, Chadwick Boseman, glances at the pile behind me, Tom Holland, and Russell Crowe. But of course, you're like, two choices obvious would be finishing a franchise, or doing something that you actually want to watch for ages, which obviously you're next. Obviously, I've seen it a few times. It's been out 11 years, I believe it's been out. It came out back in 2011, if I remember correctly. So it's been a good 11 years. And it's still... let's say I watched it about 6 times. I don't know exactly the number. But if I've watched it 6 times, it's my 6th time watching, it still doesn't get boring to watch. It's still a really entertaining film. Like... Yeah, the twists and turns you can see kind of a mile away. Just because how people act in the film. Yeah. You can see like a mile away what's going to happen. But that's fine. Most films tend to be obvious twists and turns. Like some, it might shock you. Oh, that's out of nowhere. Didn't expect that. But the main sort of twists and turns, most films tend to give away very fucking easy. And this pretty much does. It gives it very, very early on in the film. And when it actually does the twist, you're just like, oh, okay. I didn't see that coming.
Oh no. Or we're just too smart. We're just too smart for the film, that's why.
Oh, maybe we are. Maybe we're just too smart for the film.
We knew it was going to come because we're like so big brain.
But I do find it ironic us doing this one. Obviously, Adam Wingard did Godzilla vs. Kong, which is the last one we did. Yeah. And Adam Wingard did this. It's probably my favourite Adam Wingard film, to be fair. But I mean, what I love with this film is the fact, obviously, not just it's simple premise and whatnot, is the fact that it's practical. They do everything practical in it. The blood, everything. That's what I love. I love a good horror film when it's not the CGI blood flying everywhere. When it's actual, like, proper... Yeah. That, I fucking love it when it's like that. And it even shows you a lot of the close-ups, like hammers in the back of heads, arrows through the fucking heads, throat slits with the... And it just shows you it. It just goes through it, which is obviously why it's, an 18. Blood. gore, violence, swearing, a little bit of nudity sprinkled in, a tiny bit, not a massive amount, just a touch of boobs to keep people happy.
At the start,
and then like a little tiny segment halfway through, which is very quick. She's not into it, but yeah, it has everything really for a horror film, and it's obviously a low budget horror film, not this like mainstream, like Friday the 13th, Halloween, those sort of mainstream type ones. It's its own like smaller horror, and I do love a good low budget horror. Not every low budget horror, but like ones that are actually look like they've actually put a lot of effort into. Like they've got a decent budget behind it, but not like millions and millions. Like a good like I don't know 5 million. That for me makes a good horror, rather than sometimes when you look at some of these like horror films and they fucking put like 100 million into it, and sometimes they just look cheap as fuck. This doesn't look cheap. It looks like a decent. It kind of reminds me of something like someone making college, that sort of type of thing. Like it looks better, obviously,
like an indie film.
Like an indie film, basically. Yeah, obviously it looks better than that for the fact that obviously they've got the better technology. But it reminds me of sort of like that sort of low budget filmmaking, which is obviously makes sense because obviously this is kind of Adam Wingard's big boof out, and obviously then he eventually got the role fucking Godzilla vs Kong, which is a weird transition from this to that. Especially when you're watching this, you're like, how the fuck's he made this brutal ass home invasion film, and then made a monster movie where they're battling the shit out of each other? That makes no sense. But somehow he goes for that, and okay, fair enough. May not be as good as this, but okay. I feel like with this, one thing this has heavily got for it is its main character.
Definitely.
Obviously, as you say, takes the twist of the final girl. Obviously, yeah. Most final girls have this sort of badass moment, but this final girl has many badass moments, especially when they flip of the switch in the brain.
The moment.
It's as soon as obviously the first arrow comes through straight in the guy's head, she instantly is like, okay, everyone down, gets everyone down. Okay, don't pull the arrow out, keep the arrow in, use the chairs, get across, and then obviously the first sort of kill, which is obviously the tiger, isn't it? The first kill.
Yes, it is.
I think it's tiger. Obviously, she fucking smashes his fucking head in, and it goes fully into the back of the head, where it's fully showing the meat fucking hammer, straight in the back of the head, and it just doesn't hold back on that account, and that's just the start of how she is. It's like not just obviously physical, presence she's got, because she's not as big build as like you'd think. She's obviously just like an average build of a person, and she's still just like this really mean machine, basically.
Very creative.
Very creative. She basically is Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone.
Pretty much.
Meets some violent psychopath who murders people. So obviously she like Home Alone's the shit out of her house, puts like nails in wood on the windows. Twice, I might add. So if they spot the first one, they go straight down on the second one. Obviously puts the axe at the top of the fucking door, so as soon as someone opens the door, it swings down. Obviously puts hot water on the stove, which doesn't get hot anyway. It's more of a oh shit, frying pan. She's just like really fucking badass. All the other characters are just kind of just throwaway characters, really. Like there's nothing really to them. There's like most of them obviously die really quick, and the ones that don't are just there for this.
They're the bad guys.
Either the bad guys or just like already injured, pretty much on the verge of death sort of situation. Like obviously the guy with the arrow in the back. Obviously he's just dead. He's just like half dead and just as a distraction so she can actually fucking stab someone. But I do like the way it starts because it pretty much starts straight into it. Obviously, it starts off with a bit of a naughty, rompy scene, getting the 18 rating there. Guy fucks off in the shower. Woman walks downstairs to put some music on. The music which you're going to hear over and over again in the fucking movie. And, a lot of really good shots of not showing nudity, to be fair. Because a lot of the shots are covering the chest. And you've only got like the centre down the middle.
Like, sometimes you'll see one. It's just like a tease.
Yeah, it's nothing like smutty. It's well shot, so it's not
natural.
Yeah, so it's not full on just going, get your tits out, love. It's not like that, which is quite a change for most horror films. Because most horror films are just like, get your tits out, love. Yeah. Straight out, go on. Like fucking, obviously, one prime example would be Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that film's just full of tits.
Anything with Rob Zombie.
Walk away towards the camera. Yeah, keep your tits says. Whereas this, like, okay, walk towards the camera.
Mm.
You're not going to be shown, it's fine. But that is quite interesting. Obviously, instantly gets killed off screen.
Mm.
And obviously the guy gets at the shower. No censorship there of his boobies. His boobies are on full show. Finds has a little cheeky little drink, his last drink. Obviously finds the fucking "You're next" written, which is, I say is quite unique. That's the base of the title card. But before it's actually gone to black, because obviously he sees the body of her dead, and he's like, I always find it funny horror films, like they see the body and like they make the sound. I wouldn't make the sound. I'd pretend like I haven't heard it, so you can just sort of go, but sneak away. Because if you as soon as you know, as soon as they make a sound, like, oh my god, they basically they straight up basically just fuck. And again, in this case, of the fact that he literally gasps and he gets turned straight into the guy who fucking knifes him to death. And obviously cuts to the actual thing. Where obviously you're meeting the family one by one. Obviously you meet the mom and dad first. We then meet the main character and obviously the boyfriend. Yeah. Then it's his brother and obviously his wife. Sorry. Then it's the younger sister and her boyfriend, the documentary guy, and then it's obviously the very obvious villains.
Very obviously. The
younger brother and obviously the smoking girlfriend. Z with double E's. Red double D's though. I couldn't help myself. I line myself up for the gag. But I mean, obviously you get the introductions out of the way, you learn all the tropes and whatnot about these characters, and obviously they have the meal. Obviously even before the meal, when you just meet the mom and dad, there's hints that there's something wrong with the house. When they're just like, oh, I can hear someone upstairs. You're not upstairs. Okay, you wait outside, I'm going to go up there and see what it is. Obviously, as he goes to go in the room where he actually needs to be and see there's someone been there. Yeah. Obviously, he gets called away. That was perfect timing, that was. I just love the idea. He's like, oh, I've checked every room. No, you just ignored the fucking cupboard. Check the cupboard, dude. That's like the biggest horror movie no-nos. You need to check the cupboard. Because there's usually someone hiding within the cupboard. And it's the obviously cut straight into it. Obviously, when she's having the meal, and it's showing that they all hate each other so much. There's all this bickering between this family, and everything's just fucking going wrong. Like fat jokes, just a lot of hate towards documentaries. Oh my God, for some reason, people like adverts more than TV. There's just a lot of really strange conversations going on. Obviously, the only humorous one was when he's obviously calling him fat and whatnot. That's the humorous part of it. Fat jokes are usually the humorous ones in fucking movies. They're the forced jokes. They're the easiest ones for people to write. Yeah. Then obviously everything kicks off, and obviously one by one, everyone starts dying. Obviously, the boyfriend who's not the non-white character dies first, as most horror movies is. Of course. As you say, you can see at that point which ones are the kind of villains because they fuck off out the room instantly. Yeah, they run straight away because they know if whoever starts running past now is going to get shot. Exactly. And then obviously, let's have daughter if you want. Oh, the pictures are in the right shit. I forgot about them. That's better than it was. But obviously, yeah, you can see them outside the room. Like, oh, what's going on? And the best bit is something we both pointed out. Is the simple fact of I can't get any bars. Oh no, it's a horror movie, I can't get a signal. And the one who's outside the room goes, oh, they're probably using a cell phone jammer. You can get them on the internet for like $30. Oh, excuse me, how do you know you can get a cell phone jammer on the internet for $30? That's very specific. Yeah, I mean, I said to you, if they said something like, oh, you can get it on the internet, you can probably get a cell phone jammer, that you probably just look over it, you wouldn't think too much about it. But it's when they say, oh, $30 on the internet, that's when you're like, alarm bell should be clicking like, how the fuck do you know this? Yeah. Why do you know this specific bit of information? You shouldn't know that.
Imagine he was like, you can get it for like $32.99. Like,
Imagine if he was so
even more
specific. And he even said the website, and
Yeah.
then you'd be like, "Mate, I think you're quite sus here."
With £2, $2.50 delivery charge.
It's
For specific.
It's just so fucking specific, though, isn't it?
It shows how like shitty planned it actually was.
Yeah, very shitty planned. There's, as you see as the film goes on, it's all fucked up. I mean, obviously, you get that character out of the way. Obviously, the next character goes when they're all like, "Okay, we need to get out the house." It's like, "Oh, we need to run," and the chubby one's like, "Oh, I can run." He's like, "You can't run, you're fat." And the guy with the arrow on his back pushes the best line. He's like, "I'm the fastest, but I got a fucking arrow in my back." And obviously, it's just going through. And obviously, the youngest is like, "Oh, no one ever believes in me." And then they're like, "Oh no, you can do it, you can do it." And it's that slow run up. It's like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna open door at the last second, and they won't ever suspect that you're running out." Gets to it, slow motion as always, straight into a fucking some fishing wire.
Yeah.
Blood.
I love as well is that because obviously it's the youngest son who's the one causing the setting this whole thing up. He's the one that was edging her on. You got to run fast. Don't stop running. You got to be surprised them. He's the one saying
he's
that.
He's
the one who keeps saying we should all go out.
Yeah, he's the one trying to get everyone into the line of fire. Of obviously what you don't know yet. Of obviously 3 killers. Wolf, fox, and sheep. Obviously, you don't know this at this point. You don't even know. You haven't even seen one. It's all been like done very subtly. You just seen like the pointing. You haven't seen the mask or anything.
You see the lamb mask briefly. He's watching the mom. You see it in
the mirror. You see the reflection early on, but you're like, wait, you're like, what? It's not fully clear. It's not like a full like body shot. It's just like still like just the mask popping up in the mirror, the window. Sorry, when she's having a little drinky and some sweet drugs, which is also funny with the guy with the arrow, and he's like, "I need drugs, get me some drugs instantly. Here's my purse. Here's some drugs, mum."
But it's quite clever because the whole family is basically acting like stupid characters in horror films. Whereas obviously the main character, she's like, no, you gotta don't pull it out. Yeah, pull it out. Keep pressure on, and she's the one who actually has all the smart ideas. They're all being stupid and like do random stuff.
But yeah, as you say, it's like it's purposely done to make everyone dumb but her, which is usually final girls are the smart ones, but they're never usually this level of just bad. Yeah. The only example really, and you can't really count that because it's a different part of the movie. Obviously Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis. First movie, she wasn't as badass. But then she was in the 2018 one, but you can't really count that because she's not the final girl of that movie. She's the final nan. The final nan.
The ex-final girl.
Yeah. So, but it is quite an interesting play on that. Which is quite cool. But obviously, as you say, going one by one, getting everyone killed. Obviously, the next one is the mum, isn't it? When she goes to lie in the bed. And obviously, you see the hand coming from under the bed. With some very creepy music, which is really cool. I mean, the music in general for it is pretty cool. I said there's obviously that sort of Stranger Things vibe with some of the music, and then it always, whenever something sinister happens, it just switches like a knife, like slicing through it real quick, which is pretty cool. I say then mom goes next, obviously gets killed in the bed. And I'll find her. You're next. Oh no, mama! Obviously the guy with the arrow's wife. I mean, the daughter's not the daughter. It's the daughter-in-law. Obviously, fucking bolts out the house.
She sees like this. She looks beneath the bed and sees the
mask.
Like,
she finds the mask and shits herself and runs off. The husband
doesn't bother to tell them.
Yeah, the husband chases after her at first, and he gets his arrow caught against the wire, doesn't he? And then stupidly pulls it out before fainting. Obviously, she actually does make it to the neighbour's house, which you've been to twice at this point already. Obviously, you got to at the start where the murder happened, and obviously the main character went there for milk, and you saw the guy dead. And obviously, she goes there, gets thrown through the window by the sheep. Was it? Yep, the sheep. And obviously, gets killed by the sheep. And blade straight for the head, and it's just this is the scene when he's like just sits down next to the dead guy, and he's like, and the music just kicks in again for the fucking magic, whatever it fucking is. It's God knows how many hundred times it's on repeat, and he sits down next to him, and he's like, which is quite humorous. And obviously, then it's the dad, isn't it? Next who goes. It's when the son reveals himself, isn't it, as the killer, and he slits his dad's throat.
Really? Have to do it in front of me?
Yeah. And it's the brother then, isn't it, the arrow?
Yeah.
Because he stabs him like fucking how many times in the chest, which is quite humorous to him. He's like, what? This is hard for me, man. Why won't you just die? He's like, got like fucking like 6 or 7 screwdrivers and knives sticking in his chest. He's like,
oh yeah, it must be really painful for you.
It's just like, It's just how he's just like, oh, this is hard for me doing this to you. And he's done it about 7 times already. He's like, it's really hard for me, man. I'm just like, yeah, it's hard for you. He's the one with the fucking screwdrivers in her chest. And obviously, at this point, obviously, you got the 2 women obviously setting the traps, and as you say, she's got the easy kill with the board. She tries to slam him with the board, but she gets caught. And he's like, do.
Very obviously not being sinister.
Yeah, and obviously, eventually, it's the baldish fellow, isn't it? He dies next, isn't it?
Yeah, it was the
sheep one, wasn't it?
First one to die was the like
tiger
one.
I think it was.
Then
yeah.
It was the sheep.
Yeah, because he gets.
Because he's the one that's already injured.
Yeah, she stabbed him in the back. Obviously, he stepped on the fucking
the spikes,
the fucking nails, and was yelling like a fucking bitch. And obviously, then she just finished him off with took him out. And then obviously, as the last one is obviously the fox, who she gets rid of, which just leaves obviously 4 people left alive. 3 you know to, and 1 who's miraculously nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I wonder where he's gone.
And obviously, I love the final fight though between the 2 non-mass villains, and obviously her, because obviously she's fighting her. The 2 women are fighting. He comes in. She tries to burn him with the fucking water. Realizes it's not hot, and he's like, "Really?" Has to defend herself with fucking pans. Then she smashes him over the fucking head with a goddamn fucking blender. Straight in the top of the fucking dome. Turns it fucking on. And then fucking takes a knife straight for the woman's head. Like that's just so. And then it's the shot of her just sitting there in between the 2 dead bodies. Like
you think it's over, and then
the phone rings, and it's like, "Yeah, I'm outside. Can you hurry up? I want to come inside." Is everything done?
He thinks that he's calling the brother.
Yeah, but
obviously
he's calling his girlfriend. And then obviously he comes inside. He's like, "Ah, but don't come inside." Climbs inside, looking up for the front door. Obviously, he looks around, standing around on the phone. He's like, "I can hear you breathing, man." And she's just standing there behind him, drops the phone.
Yeah.
And there's that whole debate of, "Oh, you were never meant to die. You were going to be fine. You shouldn't have fought back. You was meant to be a witness on this. We get the money. We're no longer broke. Yada yada yada. Come on, what are you going to do? You're going to send me to jail?" And it's when she stabs him, and he's like, "Why are you doing this?" And it's just a response of, "Why not?" It's then you think it's like, "Oh, it's over now," and she gets shot.
Yeah.
It's like copper comes out of nowhere.
Because obviously, America,
shoots through the window, and then comes inside, and obviously she's having to try and fucking crawl to the door. It's like, "Yeah, no, don't come in. Because obviously as soon as he opens the door, the fucking axe comes down and ends on a massive amount of blood splattering over the screen, symbolising the fact that, yeah, this guy's dead.
He's dead.
He's definitely got killed. And I said to you, it's funny that she killed more people on that, like, in that house than the fucking actual villains did. Because I worked out the villains killed about 6 people. I see every member of the family. Not counting the neighbours on this one, because that was the day before. And she killed about 7. She got the 3 mass killers, she killed the 3 non-mass killers, and she killed the copper. Accidentally, but she killed the copper. So she literally killed more people than them.
Yeah.
Which I find quite humorous, because she's done more damage. But then again, she hasn't, because she's took out the bad guys, so it's fine. Bad guys in the copper.
I'm glad to say it was
collateral. The copper was collateral on this. But it's a cool way to. It's a really good way to end, because it ends on a cliffhanger. But at the same time, this guy's fucked, and at the same time, it's like, this is an accident. What the hell? And obviously, then the end credits shows like images of everyone's dead, and underneath her picture says suspect ? So obviously, you don't. It's like, wait, is she a suspect here? Everyone's dead but her, and that's the thing.
There's obviously like mercenaries there, though.
That's what I mean. That should be a hint there, but obviously that no one's going to know. With obviously Wait, what the fuck?
Because she's the last one standing, and they're all dead. All the witnesses are dead.
There's going to be obviously that debate of, did she just kill everyone, or what the hell's going on? Obviously, yeah, you can say, like, okay, they found these 3 mercenaries, so there's something else actually happening here, but is she involved or not? That'd be the question for them, is she involved in these killings? And if not, what the fuck actually happened here?
Yeah, because obviously, if she weren't involved in the killings, then, like, why are everyone dead? They're not going to know which one's the good guy, which one's the bad guy. She'll probably say, but whether to trust her.
Yeah, exactly. They can't really prove anything unless they can find any. Because there's not really any transactions between the bad guys because they haven't sent the money yet. The money was after everyone was dead.
Their inheritance.
That's the thing. They say that they might be able to look at that situation. Is the fact that she's not, obviously, if she was like married to the guy, then it could be so she can get the inheritance. But she's not married to him, so she wouldn't get anything anyway because she's not legally allowed to have anything off this situation. So maybe they can look at it as like, where's she actually getting anything from this? Because she's not really getting anything from the situation. So that's the only way maybe she can get out of it.
And the only evidence, who's evidence? Because there's the phone jammer, and the phone that she hasn't touched, whereas the youngest son has.
Yeah.
Younger brother, he's touched it. So at least that's got his internet that connects him to the jammer, which connects him to at least one being the one orchestrating it. So there's at least a connection. There's evidence there.
There's a little bit there, but it just depends. Obviously, as you say, you're never going to know if she got off scot-free or anything.
It's for your own, like, brain.
Yeah, you need to work it out yourself because you're not going to get a sequel because it works without a sequel.
Yeah,
it works as you deciding then
what's your headcanon
of how she getting out. Did she get arrested and thrown in jail, or did she get arrested and they're like, okay, you're not involved in this, you're free to go, love? You don't know. That's the cool thing. Is it's your interpretation of what happened.
It was like how you want it to end.
Like,
do you want her to like have the justice? She killed all of them, got off scot free.
You definitely want that.
Or do you want it to be the irony of like she's the one that saved the day, yet she has to like
be arrested for it,
punished for it?
You'd want the fucking nice ending, wouldn't you? I mean, she survived the night. She's tried to help everyone along the way, and she's literally she's risked everything to save it. People that she didn't even really need to save because she was going out with her son, but she didn't know any of them, and she risked her life to save everyone. And obviously she didn't, but she risked her life to do it. Heck, she even dragged the guy who was unconscious, the one with the arrow, into the cupboard to keep him safe. That shows how much she was trying to help him. So you definitely want,
because she knows what to do.
You definitely want to see her get off with it and be no punishment off it whatsoever. You 100% want to see that rather than her getting arrested and that's it, game over. Because there's a lot of films out there where the final person gets arrested and that's it, even though they've done nothing wrong. There's a lot of films out there that happens and it's kind of just like a bit of a kick in the nuts.
It depends on how you, like, the person, you as the viewer want to see it.
So as a viewer,
we want to have the justice, but some might want to like the irony.
It's two sides of the coin, basically, isn't it? Two sides of the coin to how you want to see it. It works either. It literally works either way, really. That's the really cool thing about it. Trying to think what else. I got the characters. Story's basic. We've said that, but it works. I think the setting's quite cool because it's obviously your generic out in the middle of nowhere. The only place that's near is the neighbours, which is like a good fucking 10-minute, 15-minute walk down the road. So it's quite an isolated area where you're kind of fucked if anything goes wrong because you can't get anywhere. Because that's why obviously take out the neighbours. There's your lifeline gone. Because that just leaves the house. Take out the family. No one's going to know anything, are they? So then if they left the neighbours, started killing everyone in the house, they probably would have heard the screaming. Probably would have heard obviously people shouting. Obviously, they went to the house. They would have obviously gone, oh shit, let's call the cops then. And obviously that wouldn't have probably been the range of their signal jammer. So obviously there is the aspect of why they took out the obviously neighbours. Not neighbour. A neighbour that is banging some young chick. which they say at the start. It's like, oh yeah, he's kind of left his wife for some young thing. I mean, his wife got lucky because she didn't get killed.
That's true.
So something good come out of it for her. She may have lost her husband, but she didn't get killed. So
she's probably laughing.
Kind of a win-win there for her, isn't it? Really. A, she got rid of a dirtbag, and B, she's not dead. So it's kind of a win-win situation for her.
And you can't be.
Plus, if he's dead, she'll get all his stuff. It's a win-win-win situation. Oh, so you look into these things, you think it through, and you understand that some people could get through it a lot better than others.
So hire a mercenary. They can get...
Exactly. I mean, it's just a real interesting small film that a lot of people won't have bothered watching or even heard of, or just spotted and just been like, yeah, nah, I'm just going to flick over it because there's that many home invasion movies.
Generic ones. There's
a lot out there, and not a lot of them stand out. Obviously, the only ones that really stand out is Home Alone. That's because Home Alone's a classic. That's the only one off the top of my head. And obviously some slasher films, it's like a home invasion, but it's not really... It's a mindless brute going after people, so that doesn't really count as home invasion. You want home invasion, you want when it's like smart, like this, tactical, going in, jamming them, crossbows, stuff like that. You want that. That is the sort of home invasion you want. So it's one of those ones that probably flew under the radar, but it really shouldn't have because it actually really was good. I don't know actually how much money it made at the box office. Let's have a quick Google of that, shall we?
Let's Google it. Google.
Let's Google. Let's Google You're Next. No, not You're Welcome, You're Next. Let's have a look how much it actually made at the box office. 26.9 million against a 1 million budget. That's actually really good. And obviously it got a decent reception. So what, they've made 25.9 million. So it wouldn't have been marketed. It wouldn't have been massively marketed like your mainstream movies, which obviously cost a lot more on their budget because of marketing. This definitely would have been marketed just as very small. Because I said to you, I just saw it on a fucking billboard in Warsaw. That was it. That's not really marketing, is it? Massively. They wouldn't have spent that much on that situation. So they've literally come out with like 25 million in the back pocket. So that's really good for like an indie film. So, well done.
This is like, it shows the benefits of having a low budget if done right. Yeah,
because obviously sometimes when you look at low budgets, it can come off really bad. It can come off really either
cheesy and awful. And
or if it's anything using CGI and it looks terrible. But practically, it usually comes off fine. Like stuff like Evil Dead, they're practical and they obviously work really well. But I say if you have like a small budget, got the right filmmaker behind it, the right crew, it comes off looking like a film that you maybe cost like $30-40 million. $30 million. Yeah, 30-40 million. Yeah, something like that. Like still a modest budget compared to most things. Like, so I think like Halloween Kills that only cost like 20-25 million to make something stupid like that, and that's a big slasher film. That's only like fucking like 25 more million than this, and. The only difference really is a bigger set, more people in there, and obviously more kills. So that's the only difference.
Marketing as well.
Yeah, more marketing. That's the only difference really. Whereas obviously this is that's probably the benefit of a smaller filming location, like one building, film through, small crew, small group of actors. Simple, really. All they really have to worry about in budgeting is obviously paying the actors, paying obviously the crew involved, and just paying for the props and the obviously the gore and stuff like that. That's all they really have to worry about. And for $1 million, obviously that's probably about enough to cover all them. Obviously, the actors wouldn't have been paid as much as like most would get for big massive movies. But what, maybe I don't know, like 100 million, something like that each. 100,000, sorry, not 100 million.
Usually.
Makes no sense.
The big actors have to get the most.
I feel like she'd probably get the most for being in it more.
She's the main character.
I feel like she'd probably... Yeah. If, say, everyone was getting like 100,000 each, I'd say maybe she'd probably get maybe 200,000, 250, something like that. We're just guessing numbers here. Because obviously, I say she's in it more, so it makes sense her getting the more money. Like her and maybe that's obviously the two obviously villains without the masks. They were in it a bit more. Obviously, the ones in the mask probably wouldn't get as much because they're obviously a lot of faces are covered and they don't speak a lot, so they get so much for maybe doing like the stunt work more than anything. Because there's a lot of decent stunts in this. To be fair, obviously the one with the main character when the bad guy comes in the room, she fucking yeets the fucking mallet at him, misses completely, and this fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre jumps out the window. You know, gets glass in the leg and everything. Obviously, there's stunts like that. Obviously, people come through. I say people come through windows, people going through windows. A lot of fighting. There's a lot of stunts in this film, and as I say, I felt like for $1 million, they've done well, done really well. As I say, a lot of these films, if you look at this, sometimes bet 5 million. I'd say personally 5 million to make sure you got everything covered. Obviously, for $1 million, fuck me, they've done a good job. They've done a really good job on that.
They've saved a lot of money with having it set in 2 locations.
It probably, as I say, that and the fact that there's no real major, well-known star. Obviously, the main one, obviously I know from is obviously Bait 3D, which we did because she was the main one in that, and Home and Away. That's all. Literally, yeah. I think she was in another film I can know off the top of my head.
Step Up.
Oh, she was Step Up 3D. So Step Up 3D on the back of the case, and there's another horror one she did like a year after this, I think. Those are the only ones I know from. She's not a big, massive star, apart from Home and Away. And the other ones, I don't really recognise any of them. Maybe if you Googled them, I might go, oh, I've seen them in that film. But they're not, it's not like fucking like, I don't know, Chris Pratt or Sam Jackson. It's no massive named, well-known
A-lister.
It's, I wouldn't say B-lister. I'd say maybe C-lister, D-lister. Maybe, yeah. It's a bit lower down the ranking. That helps with budget because you haven't got to fucking fork out loads for, you know, like a Will Smith asking for like $50 million. You haven't got to fork out for something like that. It's just like, yeah, I'll take 100. I'll take 100 grand. That'd do me. Thanks very much. It's like
they've lowered the cost for the budget, but they've not lowered the quality.
Yeah, because you usually find when films lower the budget, the quality goes down. But this is the opposite. They've lowered the budget. But the quality seems to still be up beyond where it really should be. Because there's not really anything in this film that I would really fully fault. There's a lot of really cool shots. Obviously, the money shot of her in the window, obviously with the axe, that's a really well zoomed out shot. Obviously, the killer sitting on the couch with the dead body next to him. Obviously, the main character sitting in between the 2 dead bodies. There's a lot of these really well done shots, which are money shots, so it's well done that they got them in with this budget. Because I say if you $1 million, you're probably knocking about half that off just for paying the actors and all the crew, maybe even a bit more. They'll probably even had less to work with in terms of making sure they got the camera equipment and whatnot.
Yeah, the location, everything.
They probably had less than that $1 million. Because I say knocking off the actor bills and just paying people. It's got to be even less than that to make sure. So if that's the case, they got the quality spot on.
It's impressive.
It's definitely something that inspires me as someone who wants to get fully into filmmaking. To get into filmmaking, because if you can do something with that million, what can you actually do with less and still make it look that good? Because that idea of less still means more. It is a challenge, as you put it. Then
it's worth the challenge.
It's an interesting challenge to take because obviously, you can fuck up really badly. It can look really awful, but you can also make it look really much like $100 million box office hit movie, and this does that. So it's definitely something that inspires me, who's trying to get into that field of work. It inspires my mindset of how to work it. It doesn't take much to inspire me, but that is quite a really good, nice bit of inspiration personally. I mean, I'll watch anything, I'll get inspired. I mean, knowing those sort of figures, that's quite inspiring for someone who does it low budget. That's really inspiring. trying to think. Obviously, the horror elements of this is pretty well done.
Mm.
Because, as I say, being a home invasion, but home invasion horror, it needs to get the horror right, or else it just doesn't feel as tense.
Yeah, it becomes more like just a comedy Home Alone.
Yeah, like Home Alone. But it gets the horror spot on, so it's really tense whenever anything's happening. Like, someone's like hiding, it's just really tense. Like, shit, they're going to get found. Someone's just lying there, hand comes out, oh, it's really tense, something's going to happen. It does well to build up the tension until the,
death.
Exactly. It does that really spot on. I just can't really fault that much with it. Obviously, it's not like a 10 out of 10 movie,
No.
but it's pretty fucking high.
I think the only thing that's like would be bad is the fact that you could see the twist coming from a mile away. You can be most twists.
That, and obviously the fact they're reusing the same music over and over again for the the neighbour's house. I wish they had it on like a fucking like soundtrack instead. Like it was just like different songs rather than just like one.
I know you can complain on.
What?
Didn't use a song you wanted them to use.
Oh yeah, in the trailer they used the song "Perfect Day" by Lou Reed, and they didn't use it in the film. So I don't get that. Obviously, the reason they probably only use one song is money, because then they can just.
It's cheaper just have the one.
Yeah,
song.
It's cheaper to get the rights just to play the song over and over again than it is to say get about 5-6 songs playing. So I understand that, but it's still kind of annoying when it's playing over and over again. It gets on your nerves eventually. Like, which changing once is not too bad, but when it's like 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and even during the end credits, you see the fact that it's been marked down like multiple times, and that kind of gets annoying a little bit. It's the only major thing that does piss me off. But as I say, that's the tragedy of low budget filmmaking. Is you have to make cuts here and there, and obviously the cut there is the music, because it's not something that's massively needed. Like they could have just done the scenes without the music, really.
Yeah. Like
they could have had the music and it just stops and that'd be it. It could have just been like that, but obviously they kept it in just because music.
They cleverly made it so it's diegetic, so it's part of the actual scene.
It's part of it rather than just playing
in the background.
Exactly. Obviously, and again, they probably use it so many times just to get the fucking money's worth out of it.
Probably did.
Oh, it's going to cost you fucking I don't know, $5,000 for this song. Oh fuck it, so it's about 20 times. There you go, got our money's worth out of it. That's probably why they probably just wanted to get the money's worth out of the song.
I would.
Yeah, and so you can't blame them. You'd literally try and get your money's worth. You'd slot it in naturally here and there, just so you can fucking be like, yeah, money worth, done. I mean, I don't know why they got the song for Lou Reed's "Perfect Day" for the trailer. It's not appeared it once in the film. I definitely feel like it would have worked as an end credit song, like it just playing in the end credits, because it's the irony of it's not really a perfect day. Everyone's just died. The end. Everyone's
dead, and the main character's kind of like a possible suspect.
Yeah.
Oops. Perfect day.
That would have been so funny if that played, and just a really nice way to end, but sadly not. Okay, let's rate this using our hatchling review rating systems and whatnot of eggs. As I say, it's not like 10 out of 10, so it's not a dragon's egg.
Yeah.
But I definitely would give it a golden egg. For obviously like a 9 out of 10 or a 4.5 out of 5 sort of situation, because it is a very entertaining film. And as you say, it's low budget, and they've done it so well for a low budget movie.
Definitely. I agree. Obviously, if they did have a higher budget, it probably would be slightly better because of the music.
Yeah.
The music would be better. But I think everything else would still be the same.
See, I agree there, the idea of a higher budget would have helped some of the aspects of it, but I mean, I feel like higher budget as well might have hindered some of it.
True. The blood might have been CGI instead.
Exactly, they might have utilised CGI instead of obviously that. But obviously, I prefer practical because it looks better. Especially if you get it right, unlike when we did it very badly, and I just drank the whole thing in the end. That if you get it right, it works fine. And obviously, when you say use CGI, it's very noticeable a lot of times. Not all the times. Sometimes you can. It's not noticeable, but
yeah,
I feel like, especially being obviously low budget, you notice it a bit more. But obviously, I'm sort of happy that it's a $1 million budget. And again, that's obviously how you can mark, because obviously sell it to a company like, oh, it's only going to cost like $1 million. So we make 2-3 million off this. You're gonna get like $1 million. You're gonna get $2 million back. So that's the easiest way to market it.
Either way, you kind of get
you're going to get money off it because people are going to go watch it and you're going to get a profit back. Whereas obviously you try and market this type of film as like a $25 million budget. You're like, you then got the aspect of, are people going to watch it? There's no one in this really know. Are we going to get our $25 million back? That's all. That's a lot of my studios look at is, can we get our money back? If we make any more, great, fucking fantastic. But can we make the money back? And obviously that then goes with the green lighting and stuff and whatnot. Because if I can't get them, if they think, yeah, we're not going to get money back off this. If you're not doing this, go look somewhere else. But if they're like, okay, I reckon we can get our money back on this, maybe a bit more, then they will. And obviously this made more than the money, and I'm probably like, fucking hell, thank fuck we agreed to doing that. And obviously this sort of brought Adam Wingard front and centre, ready for Godzilla vs Kong, which obviously is biggest money wise in terms of obviously earnings and budget. He's done.
That one requires a lot of budget. That one does.
So there's the special effects and the A-list mixture of A-list and B-list / up and coming stars. There's a lot there. That covers pretty much everything. If you heard anything in the background, we apologise. People are inconsiderate arseholes and just like opening doors and just doing shit in the background.
I tell you, James, we got to lock him up. He keeps fucking sneaking in here, opening doors. Lock him up.
You know what it is? These bottles full of pee again. He needs to emptied.
That'll be it.
Bet grills. But yeah, we'll figure out something to do for next month as well. We might not always do reviews. If we can figure something like we can actually have a topic that I won't be able to talk about heavily with Connor, then we'll do that as well. But
something that requires education.
But most of the time it will be a review or something. So yeah. So thanks for actually coming back and doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
There's no machete to your crotch right about now.
Definitely.
Oh. So yeah, obviously next week me and Connor are back as usual. And
he's into the
I've got to unlock his cellar door. I've got to let him back out. He's in there like Gollum at the moment. Precious. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and you know, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can also check it out on Spotify, iTunes, fucking Google Podcasts, Audible. I think it's on. It's on most podcasting platforms, so you can check it out wherever. I'll always put the links in the just below anyway, so you fucking just access, and then you get your choice anyway you want to actually listen to it.
Or you can buy the CD on the market. Yeah.
Wait, are you selling this?
Maybe.
Why am I not seeing any money from this?
But, you know, money. I like keeping it myself.
She's got a point there.
Also, I've got to pay £1 for that massive stack of CDs to burn into it.
Oh, there is that. I was wondering why my computers always have to burn CDs. Huh. Where is that? So yeah, we'll see you next time.
Yeah.